What's up?
What's
How's it
good,
going?
internet and people listening live on Monster RX93.1? That's my radio announcer voice. Do you like that?
Uh, yeah, yeah. You can go for
Morning,
like
everybody.
you go for like midnight radio. You know what I mean? Or like to
Oh,
put
yeah.
people to sleep. It's one of those affirmation stuffs. How's everybody doing? Good morning. We hope you got or good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are all over the world. Why we're going international today, Los Angeles based. You start out, Carla, with
Mm,
small beginnings. Remember last week we had Yuna, and she said she was
yeah.
talking about being on MySpace and all that.
Yep.
Well, this girl started out doing covers of Moira's hits. Yeah, she's based in
Oh,
Los Angeles, by the way. And all of a sudden, she gets discovered. The next thing you know, you land a record label deal and sing a
wow.
song. That's really, really awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, it's always exciting for the show to talk to new artists because
Yes.
we get to share the innocence of music and the
And we get to hang out with them before they become super big. So then, hey,
yeah. So
you know what? We were tight with them before the Grammys and stuff. So yeah, I feel you,
exactly,
Rico.
exactly. I think it's sort of a lucky charm for the artist to go
Okay,
through
build up
the
our show.
monster and guest on our show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Los Angeles, California, to join us. Give it up for Bay.
Hi,
Hey!
hi. Thank you for having me.
Wow, look
Oh
at
my
that.
gosh, thank you for joining us. We know you're calling all the way from LA. What time is it there?
It is 7 p.m.
Okay, so not too late, not too
No,
late. Thank
it's not
goodness.
dinner time here, so it's fine.
Dinner
Well, thank you
time.
for
So
joining us. Before anything else, Bay, how are you? I mean, you're calling us from the other side of the world. How is life? How have you been throughout this entire pandemic?
It's definitely been crazy, hectic, overwhelming, but also a lot of things have been happening just like this. So, I'm just grateful that I had this opportunity come along so the pandemic could be less of a thing to bother me.
Oh,
and
too
and
true.
I mean, during the pandemic time, as you did mention, you're doing a lot of things. You're dropping a single and you're recording songs, you know what I mean? And a music video. So, let's start first with the journey of how did music get started for you? Because from what we hear, you're doing Moira covers. Then how was it? Which song were you first performing?
Well, the song that I got discovered with was actually Ikaw at Ako by Moira. And I was actually just being recorded and I was singing with a karaoke machine that I had gotten for Christmas from my
Oh my god.
so I was just singing there. I was like really feeling myself. I didn't know that my mom was recording me. And then it got posted and then Kuya Darwin from Soupstar had discovered it and he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I'm sure that you wouldn't have known this because you probably are a shy person when it comes to singing. But if you want to ever just play around with like music and you want to try songwriting and making a song of your own and recording, coming out with me and Ate Eunice from Grace Note, and then we can help get you started and everything. So it was all just purely experimentation. And then
Mhm.
this kind of just came out of it. So
I love how it's always something to do with fate. You know, a lot of
yeah,
people, when they share their musical journey, it's either by accident or like a friend posted something or they kind of just fell into it and ended up loving it. I mean, Bay, when you got that message, were you a little hesitant? Were you like, listen, I only sing like for fun, I only sing for my
Mm.
family or for myself? I mean, did you have any sort of hesitation like, okay, if I sign a record deal, if I work with these people, then it's like real, it's like a professional level kind of thing. So, what was your thought process after that message?
after I got that message, I was in shock just because I was like, I didn't even think anything would come out of this just because I kind of sing for just my family and close friends. A lot of the people who are outside of that close circle of mine, they don't even know that I sing. So when this kind of dropped, everybody was like, wait, she sings? I didn't even know she sings. So it definitely opened up a lot of doors for me, especially a lot of questions from people who were like, wait, we thought we knew you and now you're like a singer. So like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, it's definitely I'm still trying to come to terms with it. I'm still accepting it.
And when you're performing for people, what was it? How was it? What genre were you performing? Were you doing a full dance performance,
Like a
or you had
Lady
an
Gaga
acoustic?
level
Yeah,
performance?
like Ariana Grande. What was it?
Like a full halftime performance? No, probably not like a full halftime performance. It would basically be like, oh, like we would have relatives come over. My mom would be like, "Oh, sing," the Filipino thing. We're like, "Oh, sing for the family. Show them that you sing or dance or play instruments." So I would sing like, what was a song that I would sing? Bruno Mars, "Talking to the Moon." That's one of them. And then when I learned, the first Filipino song that I learned was "Bakit Pa Ba" by JR.
Oh
So
my God.
Wow.
also like a highly requested song that my mom would make me sing for my relatives. Yeah, stuff like that. So it was just all over the place. I don't think I had a specific genre that I'd sing, as long as like my parents or my family knew that I sang it. They'd be like, "Oh, sing it. Can you sing it?"
So can you give us a little? That's Carla's favorite song. If you only know,
It
Bakit
really
Pa Ba-
is. It was the first song that I remember I was a kid and I had to translate it. Like I asked people to help me translate it. I was way too young to even like want to love that song. Girl, you're in grade school, right? And then when I heard it, I was like, God, this is the most beautiful song ever. Sing it for us, babe. Sing it for us.
I was the same way. That's definitely gotten me started on like learning Tagalog and everything. So
Can you give us a sample?
yeah,
Sample.
the what is it? Bakit pa ba nagawa ang isang tulad mo, labis na nagmamahal, di napansin na wala, at katulad ang alay ng pag-ibig mo sa akin. Ako sana muli ay patawarin.
Dang, girl. Oh my goodness. You really are talented.
You're turning the chair. Right? You know what I
I
mean?
know. All the judges, all the coaches. What is it? That show? Yes.
Yeah,
Join my
boy.
team. Join my team.
Right?
Babe, that was really great. I mean, it's a natural talent. And the way you sing it, it's like you're just so chill about it. So, okay, now that we know your musical journey, I want to talk about moving forward. As you work on your music, it's a strange time. I think we can all agree. We say it time and time and again. This pandemic, it's really different for everybody. Nobody really knows how to process anything. I mean, it's one thing to already be an artist and release new music. It's another to start in the middle of a pandemic, right? So, how was that like for you? Like, you agree with them, all right, let's work on stuff. Then, did you just sort of take it upon yourself, like, okay, I'm going to sit in my room and write a billion songs and then, like, propose it over Zoom? Like, what was that journey like for you in the middle of the pandemic?
So since I'm definitely still getting started, I have, like I said, Atinis from Grace Note, she's definitely been a big help when it comes to composing songs and inspiring me to try to write more songs. So I definitely want to be more involved in the entire process of creating music. But for now, I will, not for now. Before then, when we were starting, it was kind of just, we would talk about it, we'd make cuento about what we did in our free time. So, oh, like you watch K-dramas? Yeah, I watch K-dramas. I just got started. And then Atini said, oh, did you watch Crash Landing yet? Because that's been super big over the pandemic. That's when everybody was kind of going crazy, like watching Netflix. And then, the K-drama kind of just went crazy. And no, but I definitely should. And then the same time, we would also send songs back to one another. So it would be songs from New Release Friday or just songs that would get stuck in our head to be like, oh, this is something that we want to kind of take influence from for our next song, like the kind of genre, the kind of vibes that you get from it. And a couple days later, she sent me the demo for Crash Landing. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. So I started recording it. Little did I know that I would have this makeshift studio in my garage. So it's really just like in the middle of all of the skylight, you just see like my mic's there, the monitors are there, and a small little laptop. And then I'd have to coordinate with them over Zoom, and there's different time zones as well. So it's definitely not what you think or what you'd expect when it comes to like recording, because it would be, you're in like a nice sound booth, you have a producer in front of you who's telling you what to do. So it was definitely really challenging, but fun at the same time.
Here's an interesting question, Bae, from Sari Sanchez. Who made you start watching K-drama?
I think I would have to thank my mom for that. My mom and a couple of my close friends who are like really into K-drama and Korean music in general, like K-pop. They definitely got me started into, watching K-dramas and listening to, BTS, EXO, Mamamoo. That's kind of how we started.
I know, because it's K drama and K pop. I mean, it was always big, but I think when the pandemic hit, even people who didn't necessarily think they would ever be fans or who would ever enjoy that genre of music or TV or movies ended up getting hooked. I mean, for you, you said it yourself. You're all the way in LA. You know, a couple of your friends, Eunice was telling you, like, oh, you got to watch Crash Landing because that's what everyone was watching. And then you did. And to all the monsters listening on air, we're playing BEY's song in the background for the first time here on the Monster. I mean, let's talk Crash Landing, girls. So you watched it. I'm guessing you watched it. What were your thoughts? I mean, and then the demo comes in. I mean, talk us through everything because I feel like this is such an interesting way to release a song, right? I mean, it's so cool.
Which is really funny because usually you would think that, you know, I would say that it's inspired by Crash Landing. I don't think it's like it's directly referring to the K-drama. I think you can listen to the song and kind of resonate with it, whether or not you've watched the series. But I actually recorded the song before I started watching it.
Really?
It was a very reverse process. But
okay.
Yeah, I love the K-drama. The K-drama just makes you so like just because, you know, the guy in the beginning, just because he's in the military, he has that stereotypical, like he's very cold at first. And then you see him warming up to the girl, and then you just get very excited about them being together.
So nothing
That's
speaks
so interesting.
nothing speaks a man in the uniform for the ladies. That's what it's all about.
It's true.
And like he's tough yet sensitive at the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
time. You know what I mean? Does that describe you? I mean, you're into the music now. You recorded the song, as Carla was mentioning. Let's talk about the music. Was it difficult doing the pronunciations? Because you did record an English Korean Korean version as well. How was that process like?
So beforehand, the demo was actually in full English. It was a complete English song. And I was talking to Eunice and the team, and I had let them know, like, hey, I actually learned Korean beforehand because I had a position as Korean liaison. And it just happened to click into place because then all of a sudden we were adding a verse and a chorus, and I was already familiar with the pronunciation, reading Hangul and everything. So that's kind of how it came to place, just because it really made sense since it was already about a K-drama. But it really helped that we had some help with the translation, just because we didn't want any issues when it came to cultural appropriation or mispronunciation and stuff like that. So we had to be very careful about it.
It's
You're
pretty tough.
such a cool girl. She's so cool. She's like, oh, you know, I mean, I could already speak Korean. Like, baby, like, you know, people are taking lessons or whatever, but like, I can speak it. So we added
Can you give us a sample? Can you give us a
yeah,
sample?
we can hear it in the background. But for the monsters watching, I think this would be really great.
I can say, 저는 베이예요. 미국 사람이에요. 저는 21살입니다. So I said, hi, I'm BEY, I'm American, and I'm 21 years old.
That is so cool. She's so cool, I swear. I aspire to be as cool as her because you're like literally chill, but like you have so much to offer, which makes it very exciting. Okay, I'm sorry. I just have to go back. So you said earlier, BEY, that you recorded the song before watching Crash Landing, right? So it was kind of a reverse process for you. But what's so beautiful about this song is you're right. Regardless if the person has seen the show or not, it can resonate with you because, you know, it talks about having that special someone by your side, being there for you, because you said it yourself. Life is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be easy, but it becomes bearable when you have somebody who's there to support you. Where did you draw that inspiration from? Because you didn't watch the show yet, right? So when it comes to singing, you know, especially songs with this much emotion and personal, you know, how do you say this, relation to you, how did you draw inspiration to sing the song the way that you did? Because it's beautiful. Your voice is so nice. Like, it's really very comforting to hear.
Yeah, it is.
So where did you draw your inspiration from when you started recording this song?
So I definitely cannot take any credit for that. I have to say that it was wonderfully written by Atinis, like I said. So if anything, I've yet to ask her about where she got the inspiration for the song, but definitely what came to mind when I was recording is everyone has like a special someone, whether it be like romantic relationships, the friends in your life, your family. There's always going to be someone there to get you through things and love you unconditionally, no matter what happens. And like I always say, I feel like the media always portrays relationships to be always like they always have to be happy. It always is like this honeymoon phase of you guys always like never having problems. And I feel like
Mhm.
the realistic part of it is
Mm.
the people who really love you and that you love, of course, they'll always be with you. Like the right people will always be with you.
Look at
Mm.
that. That's the
Life
relationship.
coach and
Rel-
singer. Love.
Relationship advice right there, right? Okay, Bay, here on the show, we do have all out questions. So we're going to ask you a few random questions that get you going. Okay, you're into K-pop, you're into the music. What is your favorite Korean food, and what's the one that you just cannot quite eat?
Oh, I love jjajangmyeon. I tried that in high school with my friends. Like I said, they got me into a lot of like aspects of Korean culture. I love jjajangmyeon, and I don't think I've come across a Korean food that I hate. Just because I've never actually had authentic Korean food, I guess you could say. I've had it here in the like London. I think they had a Korean place there when I was studying there. I think even in the Philippines, some sort of Korean fried chicken variation there.
Mhm.
But I don't think I've come across a food that I hate that's Korean or anything.
See, I love her. I love her. I feel the same way. I have not met a Korean dish that I didn't love because let's face it, their food is delicious. How
Uh-huh.
is it like though over there in LA? Like, is the K drama, K pop scene big there as well?
Yes, super. When BTS was here, they sold out super fast. It was very hard to get tickets. It's always um, very packed in K Town over here, just because everyone wants to get whatever's trending, like on food pages that you see. And there's always K-pop playing in the backgrounds. They even have merch that's selling there, whether it be like paper cups, people buy those, shirts,
Whoa.
like different types of merch. Even if it's not official, people will get it.
So
That's
can you
so
imagine,
cool.
Carla, the full experience, right? You're gonna watch BTS, and then you have your food, you have your soju, yay,
And then you have
cool.
it all in a paper plate that has BTS on it. That's
Basically,
so cute. Oh my God.
All
Okay,
right,
Bay. Go,
May,
Rico.
we do have some surprises for you. We know that you've worked hard in the studio, so there's gonna be someone that's gonna be joining us. Well, it's actually her computer chair right now, but we have Eunice Torres. Hi, what's up? How you doing?
Hi.
Hi, Eunice.
Hello. Hi
Yo,
How's it?
guys.
Eunice is the monster over here. Eunice, I mean, I think it's so great that we have you and Bay together on this. What
Yeah.
made you decide
Surprise.
to, have Bay sing this song? I mean, what was it about her that for you was just like, this is going to be the perfect song for her?
Um, Nag-start lang siya sa kwentuhan eh. As a producer kasi, like, it's very important to me na makilala ko yung artist. Ginagawan ko ng song. So as I was writing the song, I was thinking of Bey. And then yun kwentuhan kami kasi parang binagit niya nga na yung interests niya sa K-dramas. So, ayun, actually parang natural lang eh. Nagkakwentuhan lang kami ni Bey, and then after that, few days after, I sent her the demo. And then, nung binalik niya sa akin yung demo, narinig ko yung boses niya nung kinanta niya yung song, Crash Landing. It was perfect. I knew that very moment that the song was meant for her. It was meant to be.
What? The Bay?
I like the whole, like what you did there.
They're so cute. I love them. Again,
I
it's
mean,
a slow process.
and
Rico, go.
when all of this was happening, Grace and I mean Eunice, I was gonna say Grace note, Eunice and
Always
Bay,
get that
all
one.
of this were all in quarantine. So how were you guys up, working via different time zones? Was it like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
How did you guys adjust? How did you feel about everything with recording and everything?
well, we actually would always have to kind of schedule around everything because I know she has students, she has music, she's also making her own music, and then I come in and I'm kind of just like, hey, I need your help. I kind of clung to her as my mentor in this whole thing. I was like, hey, when are we gonna do this? But she was very helpful, very she was welcoming me with open arms. So I'm very grateful for that, just because she's taught me so much and she continues to teach me so much throughout this whole thing. So
So are you gonna be stage diving like Eunice? She stage dives, you know that, right? She gets a bottle of water, she throws it in the air, and she does all those at her show. So, what are the things that you come to learn, Babe, from Eunice in this whole process?
definitely, well, because I feel like I don't know if it's just me, but when I was thinking about the process of songwriting and production in general, I would get so overwhelmed because I was thinking there are so many parts to it that you have to think about, especially if you're producing it yourself. And Denise does it all herself. So she writes the lyrics, she does the melody, and I'm asking her, I'm like, how do you start? Like, where do you begin? And she's like, oh, like I come up with a melody first. Like if you just use like a few chords, just a chord progression, and then you think about like what you want to sing about. Are you happy? Are you sad? Is there something that you want to sing about specifically? And then you just make cuento. And I'm like, yeah, super easy. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I love the face. Like, yeah, I got this, man. I'm good. I got this. No, but it just goes to show it is a testimony of just how talented you are as well, Eunice. I mean, everyone knows you for Grace Note and your beautiful voice, your really awesome stage presence. But the way you're able to also create music for an artist that is so different from you.
Mhm.
Because what I love here is that we got Eunice of Grace Note, and then you got BEY, who's singing something totally different, very
Mhm.
chill. There's like Korean in it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, Eunice, there has to be a relationship moving
Yeah.
forward with BEY. I know I'm getting a little excited. I mean, congratulations, one song. Let's. Is there gonna be more in this kind of
Supposedly. Yeah.
vibe? Yeah. Are we gonna get more songs from BEY and from you that has like a Korean twist to it, or are we going a different language? Is there gonna be Spanish next? Like, I mean, what is the next
We were
step
just
for
talking
both of
about it.
you? Right? No, but what is the next step for both of you in this musical journey? Because this song everyone loves, and I already know they're gonna want more. So,
Mm.
do you have songs in the works that you can share?
Do you want to go
Uh,
first?
yeah, actually meron na kaming nagawa ni Bey na yung may nagawa na kaming unang song. Tapos yung Crash Landing lang yung unang ni-release. So, medyo iba rin yung vibe nun. Definitely, it's actually the opposite of Crash
Mhm.
Landing. What I really like about Bey kasi she's very open, willing
Mm.
siyang mag-explore when it comes to genres, and she's very collaborative. Kaya parang ako mismo as a producer, hindi ako nababox. Parang
Mm.
hindi ako nalilimitahan sa ginagawa ko. So that's what I really enjoyed while working with Bey. So excited ako marinig yung mga susunod na songs, and definitely marami pang ilalabas. Maglalabas na ata siya ng Tagalog song. So abangan niyo yun, guys.
Ooh,
So
there you
before
go. I'm
that was a
excited.
teaser right there. It's a Tagalog romantic song. I guess that's coming up. But
Mm.
ladies, tell us and invite everybody to support this song and the music video as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you guys could please listen and continue streaming my debut single, Crash Landing, available at all digital platforms worldwide, released under Universal Records. And you can also check out the official music video of Crash Landing at Universal Records YouTube channel as well. And for any and all updates, you can follow my social medias under It's BEY Music, and I have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
All right. And of course, Eunice, message for BEY. All the stuff that you guys are going to go through that we're excited about.
Actually, gusto ko lang mag-thank you, syempre, kay Bey for trusting me. Sobrang, malaking bagay sa akin yun as her producer. Na, it means a lot to me na may tiwala siya sa akin. And sobrang excited ako for you. I'm looking forward to your new upcoming album soon. And I know you have a lot of potential. Tuloy mo lang yan. Sobrang nakita ko yung effort mo tsaka yung tiyaga mo given the situation na magkaiba tayo ng timeline. Pero chinaga mo siya at ikaw lang mismo nag-record sa sarili mo. So that's a good sign, especially for starters like you. So just
Ooh,
continue, and yeah, congratulations.
that's so
Uh,
cool. Oh my God, woman empowerment right there. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Eunice, babe.
Eunice. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much. Congratulations. We're looking forward to more music from you. You take care, both of you. New
All
music from
right.
both of you. Yeah.
There
Thank you
you
so
go,
much.
Yeah.
Eunice already. BEY, thank you very much for joining us. And there you have it, folks. You want to thank some people, BEY?
Yeah, I would love to.
Go ahead.
I would love to thank Universal Records and Soupstar Music just for helping me get started and for giving me that foundation and support that I needed. And also, I would love to thank all of my supporters and people who listened to the song, even if it was just once. It means the world to me, especially the babies and Bay Music PH for always being there for me and for always supporting whenever I have appearances like this in my performances. So thank you.
All right, there you have it,
Thanks,
ladies and gentlemen. Once
babe.
again, from Los Angeles, California. We're excited for more of your music. Give it up for BEY. Bye.
Bye.
There you go, Carla. Oh
Oh, she's
man.
so cute. Oh my goodness. I love that. Okay. So again, to all the monsters, you can request for her song. If you love yourself a little Korean flavor in your music, you can request for her song. Okay. I love the teamwork that went into it and just being chill about the whole process and let it naturally flow. I think that's great.
And they did say that these pandemic times will bring out the best or the worst out of people. These guys have brought out the best in each other, making music and getting. I'm just excited to just eat some good food, some
Yeah,
good
now I'm
Korean
craving for
food.
Korean food, not
Yeah,
gonna
but
lie.
congratulations.
Thank
This is
you.
something to watch out for. This
I
is something to
know.
look forward to for all you fans. Once again, Bay is her name. Check her out. Till then, on Facebook Live, on Twitch, and on YouTube, she is Carla Aguas.
He's Rico Robles live. But we continue on with the Riot Wednesday hits for